Hello fellow Brick Fanatics, DJ Legos back for another video, and if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you are notified of when I upload new content. Today I am taking a look at a 2023 LEGO Star Wars set based off the Clone Wars. It is the 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack. The set number is 75345. It is recommended for building ages 6 and up. Comes with 119 pieces. I paid roughly $20 for it here in America, but without further ado, let's take a closer look at the set and see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigure. Looking at the first minifigure, this is a 501st Specialist knocking out his gun. He does come with that long rifle for Star Wars here. It does have that black candlestick piece stuck onto the end just to make it look a little bit longer and thicker of a barrel. And the other thing to note about this guy is new for 2023 here, we get this macro binocular set that's just a separate molded piece, and it can just slide over the eyes, and it's very nicely detailed. It does attach to the two holes on the side of the helmet that's been added. It got added back last year to that helmet mold, although as pointed out, those holes are a lot higher than they should be. They should be down there at the little part there, but apparently that's where the mold comes together during the molding process, so they couldn't really put the hole there. Looking at the helmet's very nicely detailed, although you do have a lot of white space at the helmet, the little fin there. The helmet's printed very nicely too. Moving the gun out of the way, you do have a nice look at that torso, and the torso is very similar to the other ones. It's just changed for the specialist role, so he does have a couple of yellow ranking markings right there on the upper left breastplate. However, the rest of the torso is pretty similar to the rest of the 501st, and then the legs down there are the exact same that got introduced with the 501st set from 2020. In the minifigure on, you can see he has some nice back torso printing as well. And removing the helmet, you can see he has the exact same head that got introduced back in 2020 with the updated skin tone to reflect Tamara Morrison's ethnicity there. Alright, next up we got the heavy troopers starting down at the legs. They again are the same that were in the previous 501st sets. Torso printing is very nicely done. You got a lot of straps and for the extra armor that they wear. It's very nicely detailed. For the guns they wield too, it's very interesting. It's the Alien Conquest pistol piece with the binoculars put on the end, which LEGO kind of uses for shotguns and both fantasy rifles, so that's pretty interesting. Up at the helmets, you do have the visor covering there in a blue color, so you do get the full assortment of the rangefinders and stuff in that blue. So flipping that up, you are able to get a better look at that helmet design. Again, that really doesn't go close to the fin like it's supposed to, so that is kind of shocking to see that LEGO used to print that and now they don't for some reason. And the helmet is very different from the previous one. There's a little bit more armor plating detail to the actual markings on the helmet as well, so that is really cool to see. And flipping around to the back, they both come with this backpack attachment piece with that nice little jetpack detail. However, I did remove it on this one just so you can see a clear look at the back torso printing of this figure. Both of them are identical. And flipping them back around, we can take the helmet off, and they both also reuse that same clone head we've been getting. Next up we have the 501st Officer. Thing to note about this guy, he has the exact same helmet as the Specialist. So you do get that rangefinder in a blue color. as well as the rest of the parts pack, as I mentioned. However, with that newer design where they chose to place a hole, that is not deep enough for that rangefinder to go in. So good luck flipping that down in front of the figure. So that's bad design. And as I said, the helmet's the exact same as the Specialist Trooper. Removing it, you do get the exact same clone head. Torso printing, pretty similar to the rest of his companions, but you do get the blue on the belt there. And the legs also have the comma piece, but per how clone troopers have been designed of late, the comma is only printed on the legs there, and it's very kind of hard to tell that's what it's supposed to be. Kind of missed the cloth ones. And he does come with the small pistol piece as well. And there you go at the back torso printing. You just get a lot more blue on his armor here. So looking at the build for this set, you do get a turret. So pretty standard design for a turret for these battle packs, though it does have some nice part usage with the teeth, with the red plates in there, just give a little bit of color to it. How this actual turret piece is actually designed was very enjoyable to build, and how it's attached just to get the little hinging motion that you're able to do there is very nice. Design wise, this does come with a trans 2x2 round brick, just to give that a little bit more stability, so it's not always resting on these ratcheting hinge legs, which can go forward and back, and then you can ratchet the individual feet if you want a little more height to your shot. And this can also, as demonstrated, that's the extent of your range here for how much of an arc to your shot you're going to get. It does come with a spring-loaded shooter in a trans red here, and you just push down to fire and it'll go shooting. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to lose this, but it does fire pretty far if you haven't seen one of those before. And the other thing to note about this, you do get a seat from one of your minifigures to be posed manning this thing. So all it includes is a little friends piece there, just to squeeze the legs, just to hold them in place. And there you go. Here are all the extra pieces for the set. Of course, you do get an actual shot for your spring-loaded shooter. You do get an extra of the unused assortment of rangefinders and stuff in that blue color, which is nice. You do get an extra one of the newer binocular pieces. You do get an extra one of the printed tiles. And you also get, interestingly enough, the small gun piece. I guess that is now considered a small enough part that LEGO will throw in an extra one for us. So taking a look at the instructions, we do get one small booklet. You do get the new standard of design for the instructions with the render and everything on the front. QR code to use the Life app if you want to for the building instructions. You get the front half, which shows that paper bags are slowly making their way into sets, as well as how to use the app there. You get one of the clones sporting the progress bar. It's a pretty straightforward build, no issues or problems, and it does take 53 pages worth of... You get a rare thing in instruction manuals nowadays with the cross-sell. This shows the 3 sets that were released in the winter for 2023. So that's pretty nice, and then you just get a little thing for Rebuild the World, as well as the parts inventory if you need it for any reason, as well as the win on the back featuring the Clockwork Robot. Taking a look at the box, it's that standard $20 size for the battle packs. You do get the standard design now for the Star Wars line in particular, with the black border with all the LEGO parts greebling detail. You do get the orange stripe designating a Clone Wars set. minifigures all down at the bottom. Nice product shot of the set. A little false advertising here as well, with the clone trooper with the rangefinder. That is showing to be a lot lower than it actually is on the actual figure, so a little misleading there. On the side of the box here, we do get Star Wars, and you also get the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars logo. A little debatable, since kind of like the Lego Harry Potter license, this Clone Wars really hasn't been around technically for 20 years. So there that is. Top of the box, you have the specialist sporting the size reference, and then looking at the back, you just have a little bit more play features showing off of what you can do with the set. So going into my final thoughts for the set, build-wise, the turret is pretty standard for battle packs, but there are some nice techniques to it. It is very nicely designed. You get a little bit of playability out of that, so that is really well done to me. Minifigures, you get a nice array of clones here. They all have their own little deficiencies that I pointed out, with the inaccuracies on the helmets, the comma not being printed, and not being a cloth piece. That is really detrimental. You have the design defect with the helmets themselves, of the rangefinder not being able to really stick in there. And that brings me to quality. So you got the false advertising on the box there, not bueno. Again, you have the quality with the helmets of not being able to fully integrate their accessories in some cases. And that all just brings me to the army building aspect of this battle pack. In universe, there's not that many specialty clones, so in universe, this whole battle pack doesn't work if you're building an army. However, if you're ignoring in universe canon, you can just build these up as many as you want. You can have separate squadrons of them. So the army building potential is there. It's just really limited. They didn't include any generic clones here. They just included specialty ones. So that's really bad for a battle pack, and that ultimately brings me up to the price here of $20. I remember when Lego battle packs were like $14, $11, $12. $20 for this in 2023 is just not that worth it to amass these, and they didn't really give that much reason to have people buy multiples of these. So I'm going to have to say that this is kind of a mixed bag of a battle pack. It is worth purchasing if you want some more 501st clones, but it is not worth full price. It is not worth buying multiples of if you're caring about canon. So all that being considered, this set does get a 6 out of 10 for me. I recommend it if you just need it, and I heavily recommend waiting for a sale of some kind so you can amass multiples if you want it, because that $20 price tag is not worth it here in the US. But that does it for me. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this set? Is it worth it to you? I always look forward to having a discussion with you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, stack on.